Good evening. Good evening. I'm sniffling, but not because I'm under the influence or indulging in anything recreational. I believe it's the change of weather and an exorbitant amount of pollen. So, between my coughs and sniffles, please excuse me. I'd like to welcome those who may join and to those who may catch the replay. And I'm going to do this now just in case, because I'm sure someone will have something else to say when I get through with my monologue. Hi there, Jamil. How are you? And hello there, Aurora. Again, happy Sunday. And for those listening from abroad, happy Monday. Happy November. Happy weekend. I will, Aurora. Well, I'll say this. I will do my darndest to do that. Now, before I proceed, I would like, if you're from the Philippines, well, welcome. I have quite a few from the Philippines. Oh, thank you, Jamil. I may have to give you a blue because some people don't understand, and maybe that's my fault. So let me say that, excuse me, how to do certain things. So let me do that. But again, welcome to everyone. Hopefully, prayerfully, everyone has enjoyed their weekend and preparing for a brand new week. I also want to preface this by saying one more thing. Oh, thank you, Aurora. I appreciate that. Giving it a thumbs up and sharing is free because, as you can tell, I don't have a $sign and I'm not going to have a $sign. Whatever reuse means, somebody even tried to explain it to me today, and I'm looking at them like, I don't even know what you're talking about. So, you know what? It is what it is. And when I mentioned it, I believe last night, I didn't make a lot anyway. And what I did, I gave it back in giveaways, even though they were small. It's just making people smile. That makes me smile. So before I continue, I would like to begin with a little bit of church, or as the folks say in the South, a little bit of church. Brethren, let us bow our heads for a moment of prayer. Today, and this has been very, very difficult for me to have to do, I've had to rest my number 4 jersey. It is week 9, and even though I'm a firm believer in faith, I also know when it's over, it's over. So this should not be a moment of sorrow. No, it's not a moment of sorrow. It's a moment of reflection. Let's see, Jamil. Let me get through this first. Don't have me laughing through my sermon. Don't you do that. I have to put you on mute. It's a moment of reflection, but also it's a moment to rebuild from the top to the bottom. So don't cry, don't fret. The best is yet to come. And yes, I stole that from Patti LaBelle, but I do believe the best is yet to come. Now, it's unfortunate that I had to go live like this because I've asked, I've pleaded, I've groveled, I've begged for people not to poke the bear. And those of you who have been following me know how I feel about the Cowboys. And in my moment of silence, and in my moment of just absorbing everything that has gone on, words, Jamel, and I hope I'm saying your name correctly, a very powerful soul. You may just want to say you're an avid fan. I'm afraid of that third word. But as I was saying, as I was in my feelings, I'm just going to be honest. I was in my feelings and just about to enter the REM mode of sleep. And for those of you who may not understand what REM means, that's rapid eye movement. I get a text, and there were no words, but emojis of falcon helmets twisting and turning. And I'm like, oh, okay. See, our relationship is like a, how shall I say, a seesaw, up and down, and it's been down lately, but if I have to be honest, I can't say that I don't like anyone. I can say that I don't like some behaviors of a couple of people. Actually, it's just one I really have a problem with, their behavior. But back to my monologue. This individual had the audacity to send me that text with the twisting helmets of the Falcons. Not only did that wake me up, it put me in a really bad mood, and I don't like being in a bad mood. So if you're listening, and I'm sure you are, or you've sent some of your foot soldiers to listen, you listen and you listen good, because I've got something for you. And before I begin, look at your neighbor and say, We will be back. We will be back. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go out on a limb and borrow VP Kamala Harris's statement. America, we're not going back. Let me add something to that. America's team, we're not going back. Now, let's get into it. And before I begin, let me put in a little bit of mood music. All right. Let me get up Mr. Fareed's remarks. We look terrible. And then he says, oh God, I don't even know if I can read it. Hey, Brian Black. Mr. Fareed says, we can still win the NFC East if we can get it together. Jamil or Jamal or Jamel or Mr. Fareed. Did you see my live yesterday when I cammed all the way up? Yeah, my eyes are huge, and they're my real eyes. That was no camera magic or anything like that. Did you watch the same game that I watched? Or are you on that ooh-wee? Because if Philly wins, well, I mean, I've already put to rest my jersey, so I would suggest that you do the same thing too. And pick and choose is in the building. Yes, so as I was saying, as I was trying to rest and wipe my tears from my eyes, I get this little rogue text of the Atlanta Falcons helmet just twisting and turning. No words were said, just the helmet. And I thought that was, hey there, Tiago from Brazil, how are you? I thought that was the most horrible thing someone could do to me. So, let me give you a little bit of history and entertainment. Yes, the Atlanta Falcons, the dusty Atlanta Falcons. Yes, you did. You beat us. I can't even sit here and say that you didn't, because you did. And I said at the very beginning of this season, after Dak signed that whopper of a contract, I was a little bit nervous. I said this last season, that passing game is something that was of great concern. And yes, health, peace, and all. I'm just going to call you Jay because I don't want to chop your name up. Jay, I feel as though, did you ever see that movie Face Off? It's like the Cowboys have switched places with the Commanders. And I hope to goodness no Commanders fans come up in this chat, because I'm going to boot you out. But let me go over a couple of things here. Let's look at the number 12, shall we? We have a 1 and a 2. 12. There are 12 months in a year. And for the gentleman who sent me that rogue, unexpected text, this is for you. There have been 12 teams in the NFL, the National Football League, that have never won. Let me say that real slowly. There have been 12 teams in the NFL have never won a Super Bowl. Let me name those for you. Are you ready? Get your pens out. Arizona Cardinals, the Buffalo Bills, Carolina Panthers, the Cincinnati Bengals, the Cleveland Browns, the Detroit Lions, the Houston Texans, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Los Angeles Chargers, the Minnesota Vikings, the Tennessee Titans, and that was only 11 teams. There's one team that I'm missing. There's one team. Oh, the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons, who did reign victorious over my team, the Dallas Cowboys. You've never won a Super Bowl. Not one. Not one. Now, let's go back into history a little bit. The link is there if you want to come up. You can change your name. You can change your voice. Just let me know that it's you. Now, let's look at the number 8. 8 is spiritual. And it's also synonymous with the amount of times that the Cowboys appeared in the Super Bowl. Now, Atlanta Falcons helmet sender, the Cowboys have been to the Super Bowl for a record of 8 times. 8. And they won 5 of them. 5. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5. Now, yes, unfortunately, and let me go ahead and get out in front of this before someone says it. It has been since the turf at any stadium hosting the Super Bowl hasn't seen hide nor hair of America's team since 1996. The point is, they went 8 times and won 5 of them. Now let's go back and look at the Atlanta Falcons. Shall we? And JF says, everybody hates the champions. Okay, according to, and you can look this up, I implore you to always, always, always conduct your own thorough, meticulous research. According to champs, or chumps, you can't make this up. For the franchise, which has been recorded as 59 seasons, 59 seasons of the Falcons franchise. They have made the playoffs 14 times. And how many times do you think they've had a chip? I'll give you a couple of moments to wager your guesses. Again, franchise overview of 59 seasons, 14 of them, 14 seasons, 14 playoffs, 14 playoff berths for 59 seasons. How many championships do you think that the Atlanta Falcons won? Put this on mute really quick and see if anybody has a guess. I'll give you a hint. It comes after the letter N. And you're absolutely right. I can't say your name correctly, so I'm going to say J. None. None. Zero. Zip. Big goose egg. Now, can I say what's going on with the Cowboys right now? To be quite honest, I can't. A lot of people have pointed their fingers at Jerry Jones for a very long time, an extremely long time. I don't know if he alone is the issue, but as I mentioned earlier at the top of the broadcast, it may take what was done with the Commanders to happen with the Cowboys because this is week 9, and I honestly don't believe, I don't think I can watch anymore. I really, no. I might peep, but the entire games, if they start off like they have been, I'll find something else. So let's look at the past 10 seasons, shall we? From 2015 to 2024. 10 seasons. 47.1% winning percentage. They made the playoffs twice. I found love on a two-way street and lost it on a lonely highway. Made 2 playoffs. 2. Not 3, not 4, not 5. Just 2. And I'll ask the question again. How many times do you think they saw a championship? So, let's take it back a little bit. 1990. Record 5-11. They missed the playoffs. 1991. Oh, they wanted to look tough. They thought they had the juice because they had a record of 10-6. But alas, after winning 1 round, they end up losing the divisional round. 1992. They had a record of 6-10, and they missed the playoffs. 1993. I kid you not, the same exact record, 6-10. They missed the playoffs. 1994. They had a dismal season of 7-9. And again, they missed the playoffs. 1995. They had a record of 9-7. They lost a wild card round. 1996. Hoo-wee. Or as SoFly would say, hoo-woo. Wait a minute, I can't get it just like she can. Let me try one more time. Hoo-woo. I can't get it quite right. Let me try one more time. Excuse me. Hoo-woo. I think that's it. 1996. They had a dismal record of 3-13. And yes, they missed the playoffs. 1997. 7-9. They missed the playoffs. In 1998, though, wait a minute, stop the presses, stop the presses. They lost. And I repeat, they lost the Super Bowl. But their record was 14-2 in 1998. So I know Falcon helmet sender, if you were watching and you were a fan back then, you definitely had one of these moments. One more again. Now, let's get back to our regularly scheduled program. 1999, 5-11, missed the playoffs. 2000, good gracious, 4-12, missed the playoffs. 2001, 7-9, missed the playoffs. 2002, 9-6-1. Sound like a triple double. Lost divisional round, won one round. That was in 2002. 2003, missed the playoffs. 2004, 11-5. Awesome record. But lost the conference championship after winning one round. Almost doesn't count. 2005, 8-8. Remember, I said 8, spiritual. But you missed the playoffs. 2006, 7-9. You missed the playoffs. 2012, 4-12. Missed playoffs. 2008, 11-5. Wait a minute, I'm so confused. Let me go back over that again. 11-5, okay. 2009, 9-7. You missed the playoffs. 2010, another winning season, 13-3. But you didn't win any rounds. You lost a divisional round. 2011, you came back with another winning season by losing, unfortunately, wild card round. 2012. 2012, ladies and gentlemen, was the year of the Black Jesus in Washington, D.C., and that was the era of RG3, or known to many as Robert Griffin III from Baylor. But you didn't know I knew that, did you? Okay, Jay is back. In 2013, 4-12, missed the playoffs. 2014, you missed the playoffs. 2015, 8-8, you missed the playoffs again. Lo and behold, 2016, you had a winning record of 11-5. You won two rounds, but you lost the Super Bowl. You lost the Super Bowl. Never gonna get it. One more time.
Never gonna get it. Never get it.
Woo, 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 woo. You're not going to get it, Falcons. Sorry. Hate to tell you, but you're not going to do it. 2017. Another winning season, 10-6. You won one round, but you lost the divisional round. 2018, 7-9, missed the playoffs. 2019, 7-9. How do you go back to back, 7-9, 7-9, back to back? You missed the playoffs. 2020. Now, we all know what happened in 2020. Still not going to give you a pass. 4-12, you missed the playoffs. 2021, 7-10, you missed the playoffs. 2022, 7-10, you missed the playoffs. 2023, 7-10, missed the playoffs. Now, come on now. How in the world are you going to have a record of 7-10 for 3 consecutive seasons? 7-10, 7-10, 7-10, and you missed the playoffs back to back to back. And you're going to send me a text with a rotating Falcons helmet? You know what you can do with that helmet because you're only 5-3, I believe. Let me go check that and make sure I'm right. Jay says Falcons server been good. I believe Jay is saying Falcons never been good. Now there's a content creator on here, Ronald Jones, who was a Falcons fan. And I always used to call them the Dusty Falcons. And I believe that was back in 2022. Little did I know, I would have known that my boys this season would look as dismal and I'm not even going to use her catchphrase, but I'm going to use it, but I'm going to use a different word. Who would have thought that the Cowboys this season would be unalived, unalived, unalived? And wouldn't you know, see, I'm going to end up having to abort this live expeditiously because they used to call me Crazy Doe, but they may have to call me Doe Man because the Dirty Birdies in Philly are out in front of Jacksonville already 22-0. And Lord have mercy. Okay. This isn't happening. The same team that tore Hyde Park is up. The Arizona Cardinals are in front of The Bears, I kid you not, 24-9, or as my mom, may you continue to rest in power, would say, 9. Oh, Detroit. Now, I said this in my picks and predictions earlier, and I'm actually tapping on my screen. I said Detroit was going to be the team to watch. They are ahead of the Cheeseheads 23-3. Looks like Seattle has a little bit of life in them. They're ahead of the LA Rams 13-3. Let's see what the earlier games look like. Um, whatever. Can't believe it. 27-21. Good Lord. Now, the Bills actually won over the Dolphins 30-27. Now, that was close. Jay says it's a bad football Sunday for some, but I believe the Atlanta helmet texter is having a very good day. And actually, those in DC, I have not seen so many commanders, flags, t shirts, hoodies. They were scarce at one time. Now, everywhere you look, there's something with the commanders on there. Oh my goodness, the Bengals 41-24 over the Raiders. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to say his name because that's his team, but looks like you may want to grandfather in my service earlier and later rest your Browns because LA whipped that butt 27-10. And the Patriots. Oh my goodness, did I say that this was the game that was going to be won in overtime? Normally I write it down. I didn't, but Tennessee actually won 20-17 over the Patriots in overtime. I gotta go back and check what my predictions were because I know that I did predict a team to win an OT. Just not sure which one. And much to my chagrin, Washington did win over the Giants. That's a division game, for those of you who did not know that. But they only won by 5 points, so I wouldn't toot my horn that much, Commanders. Oh, I'm not even going to put that. Please don't put that individual's name in this chat. That might be your bud, and that's fine, but not here, please. And you may not have known, so you're good. But just so you know. But yes, 5 points, and you know the Giants are like really sucky right about now. And oh my gosh, I wonder where Thug Life Manning is because the lowly, I can say Doug's name because we used to talk mess all the time. I miss those days. Lowly Panthers. The Lowly Panthers beat New Orleans by 1 point. That is too funny. Whoever bet on that game, they are having a field day. I can almost promise you that. 23-22. Yes, Jay, they are absolutely in my Charles Barkley voice. The Giants are super terrible. Not terrible, but terrible. Whoa. Well, some good news for, well, two bits of good news for this area. Baltimore blew out the Broncos 41-10. So actually, my neck of the woods, they had a very, very good day. But my Cowboys, I'm afraid to look at the standings right now, but let me do that really quickly. AFC East, Buffalo is in the lead, 7-2. The Jets 3-6. Miami 2-6. New England 2-7. AFC North, Pittsburgh 6-2. Baltimore 6-3. Cincinnati 4-5. The Braves, the Braves. I'm sorry. The Browns are 2-7. I'm only laughing because I wouldn't think at week 9 there were still any teams that would only have 2 wins. And if I see any with 1 win, I am going to scream because it can't be. Houston in the AFC South is 6-3. Indianapolis 4-4. Jacksonville, oh my goodness, 2-6. Tennessee 2-6. Kansas City undefeated 7-0. Jay, do you think Kansas City is going to be in the Super Bowl? Or week 11 will things start to fall apart? Got my eye on them. LA Chargers 5-3. Denver 5-4. And Las Vegas 2-7. Let's quickly travel to the NFC. I don't even want to read this. Washington 7-2. Philly 5-2. And for the looks of it, Philly is about to be 5-3 unless something strange happens. Jay says, let's go be more. And Jay also says, possible. Then my boys 3-5. Giants 2-7. I guess the only good thing I can take away from that is we're not in last place. But we're not even at 500, so it's time to let them go. Let them go. I stole that too. Detroit 6-1. Green Bay 6-2. Minnesota 5-2. Chicago 4-3. And who is sitting on top of the NFC South at 6-3? Atlanta Falcons. I think my volume messed up, so you're gonna have to go back and research that. And next, Tampa Bay 4-4. Carolina 2-7. New Orleans 2-7. Arizona, San Fran, and Seattle right now are all 4-4. With the LA Rams 3-4. So if we were to forge into the playoffs, the leaders in the AFC would be Kansas City, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, the terrible towel waving Pittsburgh, Houston, with the wild card being, wow, Baltimore, LA Chargers, and Denver, Indianapolis, Cincy, Jets, Miami, Jacksonville, Tennessee, Cleveland, Las Vegas, New England didn't make the cut. NFC leaders. Oh gosh, I think I'm going to be sick. I know I'm going to be sick. Give me a moment. Just quick moment. Just one moment. Okay. The NFC leaders, if we were going to enter the playoffs, would be Detroit Lions. As I mentioned earlier, they are not cowardly at all. Put them up, put them up, put them up. Washington, Atlanta, and Arizona. And on the wild card, oh gosh, I'm going to be really sick again. Green Bay, Minnesota, and Philly. Those that didn't make the cut if we were entering the Super Bowl. Chicago, Tampa Bay, San Fran, Seattle, LA Rams, Dallas Cowboys, Carolina, New Orleans, and the Giants. So, those were standings. Those were some stats of the Dusty Falcons. And yes, you whipped our butts today. You absolutely did. And you caused us to fall in our division. So I'm really angry about that. I'm actually steaming with anger. But make no never mind. And you know who you are. You don't have an easy road ahead. And even though it's plausible, not possible, but plausible that the season for my boys will not be exhumed this year, he who laughs, I can't even think of what I was going to say. And I'm calling myself being hot on the mic and forgot what I was about to say. Anyway, I'll make up something really quickly. Laugh now, Dusty Falcons fan. You laugh now. But let's see at the end of the season when two teams will meet, and one will hoist the coveted Lombardi Trophy. Will the Falcons be on that turf of the stadium that hosts the Super Bowl? Or will they have several seats like the rest of us watching the two teams that will meet and the one who will win it all? That is when, my friend, I will have the final he. So let me make this clear to you and to anyone else. Hey there, Baka, how are you? Happy Sunday, perhaps it's Monday, depending upon where you are on the globe. Nightbot just came out. Please do not call me, text me, email me, send a message by courier pigeon, whatever form of communication you use. Don't allow me privacy this week, please. This was not only gruesome and painful. I have to face many people tomorrow. People with whom I talked big-ish to. And I have to walk in and listen and be pointed at, ridiculed, talked about. I'm only one person. I can only take but so much. So if you find it on your heart, and I believe that you can, please allow me just 1 week. That's all I'm asking. 1 week to recover from this devastating loss, but also what is for all intents and purposes the end of the road for my team, perhaps some of your team, America's team, Dallas Cowboys. Thank you to those in advance who will respect my wishes during this somber time. And I'd like to thank you again in advance with a song. Because honoring that wish tells me you're a true friend. And friends are hard to come by. Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. And if you threw a party, invited everyone you knew. Sorry, can't quite hit that note. You would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say, "Thank you for being a friend." Thank you. You're beautiful. And good night.